Hello everyone and welcome to my Y&R Insider 24 update channel. Sally goes out on a limb for Audra. What's next on The Young and the Restless? When Diane had words with Audra, Sally on The Young and the Restless image, JPI. There is no better person to have in your corner in Genoa City than Sally Spectra. She has stayed by Billy's side during his business ups and downs, business decisions, and business reversals. She's also a pal to Audra Charles, who needs an ally. Sally steers Audra in the right direction, just like a good friend would, and she never judges her. Sally will risk it all for Audra in the episode on Friday. Is she going to help her get a gig at Abbott Communications, which is set to make another comeback thanks to Jill? Or will Sally attempt to persuade Nate to give Audra another shot? A new understanding. Billy Flynn as Kane, and Michelle Stafford as Phyllis on The Young and the Restless image, JPI. Phyllis is volatile and unpredictable. While that could make her a weak link in Kane's company, it could also make her an invaluable ally. In Genoa City, Kane appears to alter his objectives frequently. First, he appeared to be poised to use artificial intelligence software to bring down Newman Enterprises, Jabot Cosmetics, and other top businesses in town. However, we've heard him say he wants to put all that aside and work on his relationship with Lily and his children, Matty and Charlie, Lexi Stevenson and Noah Alexander Jerry. On Friday's show, watch for Kane to reach a new understanding with Phyllis. Will he employ her to forge ahead with the plan to use AI, or not to use it? Give me the buzz. Michael Mealer as Kyle Abbott on The Young and the Restless image, CBS. Nick isn't the only person who is interested in Sienna in Los Angeles. Kyle, Michael Mealer, is also there, and he thinks the enigmatic woman might be able to help him get information that will benefit him. Kyle wants to get to know as much as he can about Holden, given his friendship with Claire, the woman Kyle loves. On Friday's show, watch for Kyle to grill Sienna for some intel. Will Sienna come forward with the information that Kyle wants? Or will she continue to be secretive? Catch all new episodes of The Young and the Restless weekdays on CBS and Paramount+. Why Devon and Abby in The Young and the Restless require a compelling plot. On The Young and the Restless, we haven't seen much of Devon and Abby since their trip to Nice, France, in July. Abby has been grappling with Chance's death, and Devon has only shared a few scenes with Lily and Amanda. On Tuesday's episode of Y&R, Devon and Abby had drinks at Society, where they spent most of their time badmouthing Phyllis and Kane and acting suspicious of Kane's motives toward Lily. Please provide Devon and Abby with their own narrative. What happened Tuesday on The Young and the Restless? Devon and Abby weren't thrilled to see Kane on The Young and the Restless image, CBS. Devon and Abby drank at Society on Tuesday's episode of The Young and the Restless and lamented Phyllis' erratic behavior at Christine's bachelorette party the night before. They spent the rest of the time griping about Kane, which is what almost every other resident of Genoa City has been doing since they all learned about his secret identity as Aristotle Dumas. When Lily walked into Society, Kane asked to buy her a drink. A concerned Devon gave her a stare that clearly said, "Tell him no." When she reluctantly agreed and warned Kane not to expect anything, Devon was visibly annoyed. Then Devon and Abby both stared. Devon and Abby were both worried about Lily on The Young and the Restless image, CBS. After Kane and Lily sat down to talk, Devon and Abby both stared at them. "Come on, you two. We are aware that you love Lily and that she is part of your family. You're worried she might still have a soft spot for Kane, which she probably does. However, she is a mature woman. Let her make her own choices and live with them." Devon and Abby require a distraction from The Young and the Restless. Abby and Victoria are half-sisters, but when they were at Christine's party, they barely said a word to each other. That was just plain weird. Let's see them have drinks or lunch together once in a while. They have a lot to catch up on. Since Devon is a record producer, maybe we could get a storyline that puts him in Tessa's and Daniel's orbit, since she is a singer and she's been making music with Daniel. Devon and Abby watched Kane and Lily like a hawk. On The Young and the Restless, all eyes were on Kane and Lily, so their conversation wasn't so private. Image courtesy of CBS. It was funny how Devon and Abby just couldn't stop staring at Kane and Lily. Abby did try to tell Devon a couple of times that Lily can handle herself, so he should leave it alone. He initially struggled with that advice, but eventually decided that maybe she was right. It appears as though the writers of Y&R are unsure of what to do with Devon or Abby. They are both longtime characters who deserve better than to spend entire episodes getting aggravated over Kane or Phyllis. They ought to have their own narrative. Maybe we could hear buzz around GC about a chic, new restaurant that could become competition for society. Maybe it could be located just a block or two away. That might get Devon and Abby to think about how they could change the decor or menu at society. There are so many directions the story could take. Let's see something fresh and unique for them in the near future. Sally's loyalty and friendship's complexity in the intricate social chessboard of the young and the restless, Sally Spectra remains one of Genoa City's most intriguing and loyal figures. Her moral compass doesn't always point north, but it is steadfastly guided by loyalty, and that makes her both dangerous and indispensable. When the script hints that Sally goes out on a limb for Audra, the possibilities are layered with emotional depth and political intrigue. Sally is now a formidable businesswoman and empathetic friend, having started out as an ambitious fashion designer. Her journey through Genoa City's elite circles has taught her how volatile alliances can be. She's been burned by Adam, by the Newmans, and by her own ambition, yet she continues to show compassion for those who have stumbled. Sally is a unique ally for Audra Charles, a woman who is equally ambitious but lacks loyalty. Sally's decision to support Audra suggests a renewed commitment to friendship over personal gain. She knows that Audra's reputation in Genoa City is shaky. Audra has crossed lines, both professional and personal, that left her isolated from powerful figures like Victor and Nikki Newman. Yet Sally, with her keen sense of redemption, seems determined to offer her a second chance. Sally's actions carry risk, whether it's getting Audra a job at Abbott Communications or persuading Nate Hastings to reconsider her professional career. The Abbotts are a proud and protective family, and anyone attempting to influence their business operations is likely to stir tension. But Sally has always thrived in grey areas where compassion meets strategy. If anyone can balance personal loyalty with professional ambition, it's her. Abbott Communications and the return of corporate fire. The mention of Abbott Communications' comeback, reportedly spearheaded by Jill Abbott, sets the stage for a potential corporate renaissance in Genoa City. Historically, Jill's ventures have oscillated between brilliance and chaos. Her involvement usually signals a new era of ambition and competition, and if Sally is caught in the crossfire, so be it. Sally's potential involvement in helping Audra join this new Abbott revival is fascinating. For one, it aligns with Sally's entrepreneurial instincts. She's drawn to innovation and reinvention, qualities that Abbott Communications embodies under Jill's leadership. Moreover, it creates a narrative symmetry. Just as Jill once mentored and challenged younger women in business, Sally now finds herself in a similar mentor role. If Sally champions Audra for a role at Abbott Communications, she's essentially vouching for a controversial ally. That endorsement could either elevate her standing as a woman of influence or backfire spectacularly if Audra repeats her past mistakes. Sally's choice will reveal whether her loyalty to friends outweighs her instinct for self-preservation. Audra Charles, redemption or regression? In The Young and the Restless, Audra Charles is one of the characters with the most divided opinions. She is clever, cunning, and unreservedly ambitious, qualities that can make her a villain or a visionary. A compelling contrast is introduced by her alliance with Sally. Sally leads with her heart, Audra leads with her mind. One of the show's most unexpected friendships since Phyllis and Jack's early alliance could emerge if Sally helps her regain credibility in Genoa City. But Audra's nature complicates everything. She has a tendency to manipulate situations for her own advantage, even when someone is genuinely trying to help her. The writers may use this storyline to test whether Audra is capable of true loyalty. If she betrays Sally's trust, it will mark a significant regression, proof that she hasn't learned from her past missteps. On the other hand, if she accepts Sally's friendship as a lifeline and evolves, audiences might finally see a more nuanced side of her. The interplay between Sally's idealism and Audra's pragmatism could redefine both characters' arcs. Kane and Phyllis, unpredictable alliances. Another dynamic develops between Kane and Phyllis, two characters who thrive in chaos, as Sally and Audra confront their own moral dilemmas. Phyllis Summers remains the wild card of Genoa City. She's volatile, brilliant, and perpetually unpredictable. Her emotional intensity makes her both a liability and an invaluable resource, depending on who's steering the ship. Kane Ashby's re-emergence in the Genoa City power game adds another layer of intrigue. His rumored plans to use artificial intelligence software to expose the weaknesses of prominent businesses like Newman Enterprises and Jabot Cosmetics gave the impression that he was motivated by vengeance for a time. But Kane's shifting priorities suggest an internal battle between vengeance and redemption. His relationship with Phyllis may determine which side wins. If Kane uses Phyllis to advance his AI project, it could start a dangerous partnership in which intelligence and instability meet. Yet, if he decides to abandon that path and focus on reconciliation with Lily and his children, Phyllis could become either a reluctant ally in healing or a disruptive force pushing him back toward self-destruction. The key to this subplot is duality. Phyllis represents the chaos Kane both craves and fears. Their new understanding might not be romantic but strategic, a pact forged from mutual recognition of their own flaws. They could either reinvent themselves or bring out the worst in each other when they work together. The rise of AI in Genoa City's power struggles. The mention of artificial intelligence as a potential weapon in corporate warfare is a fascinating modern twist for the young and the restless. This storyline has the potential to become a contemporary allegory for the ethical quandaries associated with innovation. The soap has long been a reflection of the changing landscape of business and technology. Kane's fling with AI-driven schemes against corporate giants like Newman and Jabot raises privacy, manipulation, and power issues for ethical consideration. If he were to use AI to gather insider information or manipulate stock trends, it would be the digital equivalent of industrial espionage, a move that could place him at odds with nearly every powerhouse in town. This plotline also opens the door for crossover interactions with tech-savvy characters like Adam Newman or even Devon Hamilton, who could have vested interests in either curbing or exploiting such technology. With her propensity for hacking and impulsive decision-making, Phyllis has a good chance of becoming the wildcard that transforms Kane's theoretical plan into a real threat. Kyle Abbott's quest for truth in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott's storyline in Los Angeles offers a geographical and emotional contrast to Genoa City's tension. His encounter with Sienna, a mysterious new character, hints at a deeper web of secrets connected to Holden and Claire. Kyle's motivations are rooted in love and protection. His affection for Claire drives his actions, but his methods, including manipulating Sienna for information, suggest that he's inherited more of his father Jack's cunning than he realizes. The risk, of course, is that Kyle's curiosity might lead him into danger. Sienna's secrecy adds intrigue. Is she withholding information out of fear, loyalty, or self-interest? If Kyle pushes too hard, he might expose truths that alter not only his relationship with Claire but also his own identity within the Abbott legacy. This storyline also expands the young and the restless beyond Genoa City's borders, giving it a cinematic quality. Los Angeles becomes a backdrop for reinvention and revelation, a fitting setting for a man trying to reconcile love and truth. Devon and Abby, the forgotten duo. If there's one pair in the young and the restless currently in narrative limbo, it's Devon Hamilton and Abby Newman. Since their trip to Nice, France, their storylines have been largely dormant. Devon has had only fleeting interactions with Lily and Amanda, while Abby's screen time has revolved around Chance's death and her residual grief. When they share scenes, such as their recent drinks at Society, their conversations feel like filler rather than forward motion. They spend their time criticizing others, particularly Phyllis and Kane, instead of building their own arcs. This stagnation has not gone unnoticed by viewers, who crave depth and purpose for both characters. Devon, a successful record producer, has a professional world rich with narrative possibilities. Why not look into his creative difficulties, the possibility of him mentoring Tessa, or his reconnect Ion with Daniel through the music business? Abby, as a restaurateur and socialite, could easily anchor a storyline about business rivalry or social scandal. Yet, instead of leading their own plots, they orbit others' drama. Their behavior at Society, as they look suspiciously at Kane and Lily, demonstrates their emotional inertia. They care deeply, but their energy is misdirected. The writers could reinvigorate their roles by positioning them as innovators, perhaps introducing a new restaurant or hospitality venture that forces them to collaborate, compete, or confront their own ambitions. Lily, Kane, and the ghost of their past. Lily Winters remains the emotional center of several intersecting storylines. Her interactions with Kane still carry emotional weight, the remnants of love, betrayal, and shared history. The tension is apparent when Kane approaches her for a drink. Although Devon's disapproval is understandable, he is overbearing. He wants to safeguard Lily but frequently undermines her autonomy. Lily's internal conflict is subtle but significant. She's torn between the familiarity of Kane and the independence she's cultivated since their breakup. Her guarded willingness to talk to him suggests unfinished business. Whether this leads to reconciliation or closure will depend on how the writers frame Kane's moral evolution. The scene at Society, with Devon and Abby observing from across the room, serves as a metaphor for Genoa City's interconnectedness, everyone watching, judging, and interfering in everyone else's choices. It's classic Y&R, drama not just in what's said, but in what's seen. Phyllis, the volatile heart of Genoa City. Phyllis Summers embodies contradiction. She's both brilliant and self-destructive, passionate and paranoid. Her unpredictability makes her indispensable to the show's dramatic rhythm. Every time she appears to burn a bridge, she somehow finds a way to cross back over it. Her possible partnership with Kane could reignite the corporate espionage element of The Young and the Restless. Phyllis' emotional volatility, on the other hand, has the potential to ignite multiple fuses outside of business. Her unresolved tensions with figures like Christine, Jack, and even her daughter Summer ensure that she remains the wild card in any alliance. Phyllis's greatest strength, her refusal to conform, is also her greatest weakness. Because they represent the human condition, the struggle between desire and consequence, impulsivity and restraint, her contradictions are what make the show so successful. Whether she stabilizes or implodes next will likely shape the next major arc of Genoa City. Opportunities for reinvention, the case for Devon and Abby's revival. One of the most compelling editorial points raised by viewers and critics alike is the need for Devon and Abby to receive stronger, self-contained storylines. These two characters have deep roots in Genoa City's legacy families, the Winters and the Newmans, yet their recent appearances have been underutilized. A storyline revolving around a new restaurant could rejuvenate both their characters. Imagine a chic, upscale competitor opening near Society, forcing Abby and Devon to innovate or risk irrelevance. Such a plot could merge business rivalry with personal growth, drawing in other characters from across the social spectrum. Alternatively, Devon's background in music production could serve as a gateway to reintroduce Tessa Porter, Daniel Romalotti, and Mariah Copeland into a creative storyline that reflects modern issues like artistic ownership, streaming competition, and digital fame. Abby's role as a supportive partner could evolve into something more dynamic, perhaps managing new ventures or confronting the ethical dilemmas of expansion. By giving Devon and Abby a shared mission, the show could transform their stagnation into synergy. Viewers crave momentum, and this duo has the potential to deliver it.